Hey, I'm Xenia Rubinos, and we are at Toñitas, and this is Brooklyn, New York, Williamsburg, USA. I just put out my second album. It's called Black Terry Cat, and I've been touring around on it this year. And my favorite thing to do is to write music.
I just can't seem to stop the stars from falling.
This album, I was listening a lot to Sly and the Family Stone, Jay Dilla, Charles Mingus, and Erykah Badu, who's a superhero of mine, and asking myself some tough questions about just how I feel as a brown girl in America, and challenging myself to be a little bit more specific in my lyric writing for the first time ever.
Every single day I buy just what you sell me. Every single day I eat the stuff you feed me.
When I wrote Mexican Chef, I actually didn't realize I was writing a song. I wanted to be more specific with my lyric writing, and I was doing some exercises of trying to write some stories and trying to write some poems. I was just trying to write on a daily basis, write words down, and do those kind of exercises. And I was actually walking around in this neighborhood in Williamsburg. I was running errands, and I saw all these kitchens setting up for the night. And I would hear this music blasting out of the back of the restaurants. I saw it repeated a couple times on my walk. And it was ranchera music and bachatas and all kinds of Latin music. And then in the front of the restaurant was a completely different scene, totally different sound palette. They were playing Fantagran and Bon Iver and all different kinds of stuff. And I thought it was so funny because there was just these two universes, you know, in this small little place. And it made me laugh. And I started rhyming these lyrics to myself. And by the time I got home, I had all the lyrics to Mexican Chef, but I thought it was a limerick or like a joke.
French bistro, Dominican chef, Italian restaurant, Boricua chef, Chinese takeout, Mexican chef, Nouveau America, but to the end of that is a French bistro, Dominican chef, Italian restaurant, Boricua chef, Chinese takeout, Mexican chef, Nouveau America, but to the end of that.
It was just really came from a place of silliness and of joy and just laughing about this thing that I was observing. And in it, I was also remembering something that my mom told me a really long time ago when I was a kid. She said that brown and black folks are the same people who welcome you into the world when you get here, and then the same people that take care of you when you're leaving this world, often, those same hands. And that while I was riffing on these lyrics, that image of, you know, this brown person taking care of you, you know, raising you, or taking care of you in a hospital or whatever it was, just kind of just came back to me. In kind of the bridge section of this song, there's a part where I sing in Spanish, and I sing "Toma chocolate, paga lo que debes." And that's from an old song from the 50s called El Bodeguero, which means the bodega owner or the bodega man. And it's by Orquesta Aragon from Cuba. And it's a beautiful, romantic kind of dance tune, but it's about how you dance in the bodega, and you dance in between potatoes and the garlic and the beans, and this is how you dance. And at a certain point in the song, they say, you know, take your chocolate and pay what you owe. Like, if you drink the chocolate, you gotta pay for what you owe. And that's like a really famous riff. And I was just thinking about those words in the context of this song, and about, I'm like, brown walks your baby, brown walks your dog, brown does all this stuff to make your joint run. But what are you giving back to him? So I thought that was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek nod to that old jam.
Toma chocolate, paga lo que debes. Toma chocolate, paga lo que debes.
So I wanted to come to Toñitas. I was asked to pick a spot in this neighborhood, and I chose this place because this was a social club, and it still is. And it's a gathering place for the community, and it's led by a powerful, fearless woman who has been here for many, many years and is kind of a stalwart of this neighborhood. And she opens her doors to the community. She cooks for them. So folks know that if they don't have a meal or the days that the shelters are closed, they can come here and have a warm meal. And it's also a meeting place for the changing face of the neighborhood. So it's also a hangout for young folks who may have just moved to the neighborhood in the last couple years from different places. They might play dominoes, they might put a song on the jukebox, and then while these young people are here, these new transplants and hipsters and whatever else you want to call them, also some of the older folks in the community are here playing dominoes. And so it's kind of this intersection of all these different worlds that I thought reminded me a little bit of my song of Mexican Chef and those worlds that kind of unite in this space.